Hi everyone. In today's challenge, we are going to solve this problem. The problem name is find k pairs with the smallest sum, and the problem number is 373. Alright, guys. So as usual, first of all, we are going to clearly understand this problem statement. After that, we are going to move to the logic part. We are going to see how we can solve this problem. What is the logic to solve this problem? And after that, we are going to move to the implementation part. We are going to implement our logic in four programming languages: Python, C++, Java, and JavaScript programming language. Fine, guys. Now let's see what this problem says, right? So problem says you are given two integer arrays nums1 and nums2 sorted in ascending order. Fine. And an integer k. So guys, we are given three things, right? First thing is nothing but, let me write first thing. First thing is nothing but an array, which is always going to be sorted, right? Second thing is also an array, which is also going to be sorted, right? Third thing is an integer, right? Which is integer, right? So this is nums1, this is nums2, and this is k, right? I hope it makes sense. Now define a pair u comma v which consists of one element from the first array and one element from the second array. So guys, we have to define a pair. Means we have to make a pair. So pair, let's say I make a pair u comma v, where u is a number which should be exist in this array 1. V is also a number which should be exist in array 2. Right? I hope it makes sense, right? Now return k pairs u1 comma v1 u2 comma v2 so on up to uk comma vk with the smallest sum. So what does this means, guys? We have been given a third integer k, right? So we have to return that number of pairs such that they have a smallest sum, right? What do you mean by what this mean by smallest sum? Let's see that first of all with example one, right? So the only thing which left is nothing but the smallest sum. We have to discuss this, right? So in example one, we have given this array 1, 7, and 11. This is a number, right? And so we can write here num1, and num2 is nothing but we can say 2, 4, and 6. So we are here understanding the example. Again, guys, we are not understanding the logic part right now. We just focusing on the problem understanding part, right? We have to understand this problem so that we can understand the logic after that, right? So here we have number one, nums1 and nums2. So this two array, and k is nothing but 3, right? So now let's change the color. So guys, we have to make a 3 pair. First of all, that is clear, right? We have to make k pairs, so we have to make 3 pair such that they have a smallest sum, right? So which pairs have a smallest sum? So the smallest sum pair is nothing but you can see the 1 and 2. This sum is giving us we can say value 4, and if you take any other pair, they will not gonna give a value less than or equal to 4, right? Right. So we can say the smallest pair is nothing but 1 comma 3. That is cool. Now k left is nothing but 2. Now we have to find two more pair. So the second smallest is nothing but 1 comma 4, right? So we can write 1 comma 4, which is nothing but giving us sum is 5, which is also smallest now. Then the third smallest sum is nothing but smallest sum pair is nothing but 1 comma 6, right? 1 comma 6 only, right? So 1 comma 6, which is giving us some 7. This is 5, this is 4, right? So you guys can see that this is three only pair which have a smallest. If we take any other pair, let's say 2 comma 6, 2 comma not 6, we can't take from this, we have to take from there. So let's say we are going to take 7 comma 2, right? So this is also going to give us nothing but some 9, which is not we can say smallest one, right? We have already exist three smallest with some 4, 5, and 7. So we can't take this pair as well. We can't take any other pair, guys, because all the other pairs are going to give a sum greater than this three sum, right? So we have to return these three sum. In the output also you can see we have 1 comma 2, 1 comma 4, and 1 comma 6, because these are the possible pairs which have a smallest sum, right? Now let's move to the example second and see how we are getting this output, right? So what have we changed here? So guys, in the example 2 we have nums 1 comma 1 comma 2, and here 1 comma 2 comma 3, right? And k is nothing but we can say 2. So that means, guys, we have to find two pair only, right? So the first pair is going, this is 2, right? So guys, first pair is nothing but gonna be nothing but always 1 comma 1, right? This is the smallest sum pair which is having a sum 2, and the second which is having a smallest sum, second pair is nothing but 1 comma 1 again, because we are taking this time this one, right? 1 comma 1. So by this example you have one you have got one point that we the pair can be repeat. You can see pair can be repeat, but they are not actually repeating. If you will focus on this nums1 and nums2, this one is coming from now from this particular index, right? Earlier this one was from the 0 index, now this one is from the first index, right? I hope it makes sense. So index cannot be repeated. If you will take index, so this index is nothing but 0 comma 0, 0 from the nums1 and 0 from the nums2, and this is 1 comma 0. So index will never be repeat, but yeah, value could be repeat, right? Value can be same in the nums1 and nums2 area. So this pair seems to be equal, but they are not actually, right? So we are going to return these two pairs, because we need only two pairs. We have a k is equal to 2. I hope it makes sense, right? So that is the only answer we have seen in output as well, 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 1, right? I hope it makes sense. Now guys, let's move to the third example. Third example we are not going to discuss much because it's easier to understand. So guys, you can see we have this array. Nums1 is 1 comma 2 and nums2 is only 3, right? and we have to find 3 pair, right? But you can see if we have this array, so how many possible array we can pair we can make from this array? Nums1 having a 2 length, this having 1 length, so at max we can make nothing but 2 pair only, right? 1 to 3 and 2 to 3, right? We could not even make 3 pairs, but we need to return 3, so we are going to return the numbers which we can the pairs which we can make, right? So it's not like we don't have to return anything now. We have to return the possible pairs we could make, right? It's not like you have to return exactly k only. If you're getting a less pair, you can return those pair as well, right? So you can see that we have only written 2 pair only, 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 3, right? So this was the basically problem understanding part, guys. I hope you understood the problem understanding this part. If you have any kind of doubt, you can write in the comment section, because this problem understanding part must be clear before moving to the logic part. I hope it makes sense, right? So let's remove this thing and let's move to the logic part, because logic part is always gonna be fun, right? So let's see logic, and you will find it very easy problem, right? If you found out logic easily, right? So and let's write here the first example, because by this you will have a better understanding how the logic gonna work. And if you are coming up with any logic in your mind, just try to implement by yourself. Then if you could not able to do, then come to this logic part, because right, I know half of your we can say doubt could be solved by this problem understanding part only, right? So we have this nums1 1 comma 7 comma 11, this is equal to nums1, and we have one more array 2 comma 4 comma 6, this is also nums2. Now we have k is nothing but we can say 3, right? So this is the example one which we have been given, right? Now what we have to do, we have to solve it. So guys, just tell me which data structures or what algorithm we can use in this problem so we can get a minimum, right? We need to find the minimum pair, right? So just tell me. So what we can do, we can use a priority queue, right? Or if you don't know what priority, then we can use a min heap, right? So what is this? This help us to this always give us a minimum in just log of n, time complexity, log of and time complexity, right? If any the size of an array which is inserted in our priority queue or min heap, right? So let's see how we can use this min heap or a priority queue, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to say we are this is a nums1 array, so this is 0 indexes, 1 indexes, third index, second indexes. So I'm initially what I'm going to do, I'm going to say this is my priority queue, or let's currently write a min heap, right? This is my min heap. Initially you have to insert all the values. You have to take all these we can say values from nums1, sum with the nums2 of 0 and insert in our min heap, right? And why I'm doing, just focus on this and we'll discuss it later, right? So from 1 plus 2 is nothing but 3. We have taken 0 indexes from nums1 and 0 indexes from nums2, right? Second, 7 plus 2 is 9. We have taken 1 indexes from number and we have taken a 0 indexes from nums2. Third, 11 plus 2 is 13. We have taken a second indexes from nums1 and 0 indexes from nums2. Focus over here, guys. What we have done, we have take all the numbers from nums1 and keep done that we have added from this nums2 0 indexes, means this 2, and we have inserted our min heap, right? So 1 plus 2 is 3, 7 plus 2 is 9, 11 plus 2 is 13, right? After that, here which in number we have taken from nums1, 0 indexes, right? And 0 indexes from nums2. Here also 1 indexes from nums1, 7 is a 1 indexes, right? And 0 indexes from nums2. Second indexes from nums1 and 0 indexes from nums2, right? We are also keep maintaining that which indexes we have taken from nums1 and nums2, so that we are getting this particular sum, right? Now guys, once we are done this, now we are going to start our we can say main logic. That is going to be nothing, we are going to pop out the minimum one from this min heap on the basis of 0 indexes 3, 9 and 13, which is the minimum one. Minimum one is 3, right? You can see 3 is the minimum one, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to say fine, we have taken 3. So what you are going to do, you are going to say this is my result. Now your result array is going to look like here, fine. And here just insert this particular you can say just take these two values, rest of the two values, and insert their values respectively from nums1 and nums2 and add in our result. So nums1 of 0 is nothing but you can say 1, so we are going to say 1, comma nums2 of 0 is nothing but 2, right? So we are going to say 2. I hope it makes sense, right? So in result so far we have one pair which is 1 comma 2, which come through the min heap. And how does min heap calculated? We have calculated, we have seen it. We have just take all the pairs from nums1 and added it from this 0 indexes value from nums2 and keep inserting our min heap, right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to do one more thing. Once this is pop out, so 3 comma 0 comma 0 pop out, so we are going to remove this and we are going to say add a new element in our min heap. That will be nothing but we are going to say we have taken only the 0 comma 0, right? Now this is taken, from 0 we have taken from 0, right? Now this 0 can map with other element as well, right? So we are going to say just increment this one to the next one, right? So we have to increment this 0 by 1, right? So we are going to say now, let me take a singular. Now add 3, not 3, we are going to say add this 0. I remain same. This we can say 1 and 0 index is going to increment, which is going to be nothing but 1. Now what is the sum at this? 1 plus 4 is nothing but 5, right? So we are going to add 5 comma 0 comma 1 in our heap. How does this calculated? I hope you are getting it. But I'm saying that you have taken out this 0 comma 0, right? And you go to sum 3 and you have taken out from min heap and you have inserted in our result pair, right? So mainly thing is happening, the guys, we have taken a pair from this min heap, right? So if you are not still getting, so what I'm saying that we got this thing, right? 3 comma 0 comma 0 from heap. Whenever we pop it, so we got this, and this initially was sum. This 0 was nothing but I, which is the index of nums1. This is j, which is index from nums2, right? So once this is done, so what we are going to do, we are going to say okay, just this sum is minimum, right? So you have to insert this I and j from in our result by calculating nums of I and nums of j. Now, if you are not seeing this screen, so let me just do it later up. So I'm just saying that do nums of I and nums of j and insert in our result, right? So this is one pair, right? Now we know that this is a result we have inserted it. Now we have to insert the next possible pair which can be added, right? So you can see, guys, from the array I is going to remain same, right? I is not going to change, but j is going to add increment by 1 if and j, we can say j is plus 1 is not out of bound, right? So we are going to add this by 1. So now you can see j is going to increment by 1, which is now pointing to 4. So this 0 indexes will point to the 1 index now. So we are going to say 0 comma 1, and sum is going to be 1 plus 4 is nothing but 5 only. So we can say inserted this particular thing in our min heap, right? Now we are again going to pop out. So just find out which is the minimum sum, right? So now 9, 13 and 5, which is the minimum? 5 is minimum. So again this will gonna pop out. So now we have I is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, right? Let me change a different color. So I 0, you can see this one, I 0, j is equal to 1. So what is the value with respect to I 0? You can see 7 is there, well, not j, 1 is there, right? So we are going to say 1. And what is the value with respect to j1 means index 1 in nums2? You can say 4, right? So we are going to say 1.4. So we found second pair as well. Now we are going to increment j by 1. So we are going to say j is by 1 incrementing. So what we are going to get? We are going to get nothing but I is going to remain same 0, and j is going to increment by 1 means it's going to now 2, and 0 plus 2 is nothing but, you can see 0 at we have 1 and 2 at we have 6. So 1 plus 6 is nothing but 7. So we are going to write this. Now again we are going to pop out. This has been gone. So now you can see 9, 13 and 7, which is the minimum? 7 is the minimum, right? So 7 is going to pop out, and you can say you have to add this in a pair. So nums of 0 is nothing but, you can say 1. So we can say 1. Nums2 of 2 is nothing but, you can say 6. So 1 comma 6. Now we are pop out this. We are going to insert something into this. But before that, you can see that we have already taken key pairs, right? We don't need to take more pairs. So what we are going to do, we are going to return there, right? We don't gonna move ahead. We are going to say just return now your result, because we have got k number of pairs already now, right? So this was the basically simple logic. What we are going to do, we are going to use a min heap. I know this was little, we can say tough part, or we can say complex part, but what we are actually doing here is that we are just maintaining a min heap. There we are maintaining a sum, index of nums1 and index of nums2, right? I and j. After that, what we are going to do, we are going to say once you take out any pair from min heaps, just increment j by 1, right? Because this we have to move to the next possible, we can say, options, right? So that we can take a minimum from there as well. So this was a simple logic which we are going to use in this problem. So let's move to the implementation part. Let's see how we can implement this particular thing, right? So let's go to the implementation part. So guys, I'm first of all with the Python. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say first of all find out the length. So an n command is going to be length of we can say nums1 and length of nums2, right? Once this is done, what we are going to do, we are going to say let's make a heap, which is going to be initially heap, and this is going to be nothing but initially empty. After that, we are going to say for I in range of n. What you have to insert? You have to insert in your heap q.heap push in this heap. But you have to insert nothing but first of all the sum. So which is going to be nums of I plus nums of 0. Initially, you have see there, guys, we have inserted initially this sum, right? Where I is going to be variable, all the we can say indexes, and j is always going to be 0, right? 0, 0 and 0, right? So nums2 is going to be always 0, right? And after that, we are going to say I comma 0, right? So we have inserted in this heap. Now we are going to use a loop while heap exists and k is always greater than 0. So we have to decrement k in each iterations. Here we are going to say take out the minimum one. So which is going to be nothing but, we can say, okay, so let's take a data which is going to be nothing but heap q dot heap pop, and here in this heap we have to pop out the minimum one, right? Once we pop out it, so we are going to say now I is going to be nothing but data of 1 and j is going to be nothing but data of 2, right? Now we are going to say result dot append this nums 1 of j I and nums 2 of j, right? Once this is done, we are going to check it if j plus 1 is less than m. So if it is the case, then we have to insert the next possible pair in our heap, right? So we can say heap q dot heap push. In heap, we have to insert nums 1 of I remains same, right? Nums 2 of j plus 1, j will increment by 1, and I remain same, j plus 1, right? And we have to define result here as well. So result is going to be empty right now. So after that, we have to return another result, right? What is happening here? Let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. So I think it should work, right? You can see guys, all the test case passed. So let's try to submit this code as well. So it was simple, right? What we are doing, we just be maintaining a heap, min heap, and after that we are appending a new pair, right? So let's move to the next programming language, which is nothing but C++. And in the C++, what we are going to do, we are going to say first of all find a length, which is going to be nums1 dot size, and m is going to be nums2 dot size. Let me write here this. Fine. Now what we are going to do, we are going to say once you are done these things, you are going to say first of all make queue, right? Not queue, priority queue, right? So we can say priority queue, right? And here we can do nothing but we can say it's going to have pair int, and after that pair int and int, right? So this is going to be nothing but we can say this is going to be sum, and this is going to be I and j part, right? I hope it makes sense. After that we have to make a, we don't have to do like this as well, we have to make a min priority queue, right? Min heap. So for that we have to use this particular syntax vector, and just copy this particular part, whole part you have to copy this. Let me copy this particular part and just paste it over here, right? And again one more pair greater, and this is also not gonna work, right guys? So we have to pair this particular thing as well. So let me do like this, right? Now again you have to do like this, so we are gonna say like this, and here we are gonna give a name nothing but heap, right? And let's see this whether it will work fine or not. So we are closing this one, we are closing this one, we are closing this, yeah. So we have make a queue, we can say priority queue, or we can say mini, right? Now we are going to traverse over the first nums. We are for I in j I less than n I plus plus, and here we are going to say heap dot push. What you have to push? You have to push nothing but a pair where the sum is going to be nothing but nums of 5 plus nums 2 of 0, right? And in this also pair also we have one more pair which is nothing but I comma 0, right? Now this is done. We are going to say while this heap dot empty and k minus minus, right? Here we could say what is happening, right? Here we can say if our we can say not if, we could say we can say first of all pop out the minimum, right? Because heap is not empty, we are sure that, right? So we can say okay, auto data is going to be nothing but heap dot top, right? Once we talk these things, we are going to say int I is equal to data of second dot first, and j is going to be nothing but data dot second, right? After that we can say result dot push back. We don't have a result, so let's define a result here as well. So we can say result is going to be nothing but vector of vector, right? Vector of vector in result, right? So we can say result dot push back nums1 of I and nums2 of I, nums2 dot j, right? Not I. Fine. After that we're going to say if j plus 1 is less than, what is this, j plus 1 is less than m. So what we are going to do, we are going to say this push this new pair in our priority queue, right? So we can say heap dot push this we can say first of all a pair, and inside the pair first will be gonna be sum, so nums1 of I, not nums2 dot j, right? Not j plus 1, because j plus 1 we are pushing, j is already there, right? It's fine. And here in this pair also we are going to have one more pair which is going to be this I comma I going to be same, j plus 1 gonna do like this, right? After that we have to pop this as well, so we are going to pop here only heap dot pop, right? We are going to pop minimum one before inserting, and then we are going to return our result. Let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. And I hope guys it should work, right? But no, it's giving error on this one, right? So we can say too many template for the class pair, right? So we have this pair, right? We have to these things, right? We have these pairs. Now let's run this code. And you guys can see that all the test cases pass, right? So let's try to submit this code as well. So here guys we go, right? So we can see that this problem got submitted, right? Now let's move to the next programming language, which is nothing but Java. And first of all, let's say integer int I is equal to 0, not I, int n is equal to nums1 dot length, m is equal to nums2 dot length. Right, now we are going to say make q, right? Q, right? So we can say q, and here we can say the data type is going to be nothing but what? Int, right? We are going to take a array of q, right? And after that we are going to say the name is heap, then new is going to be nothing but variety q, right? Fine. And once this is done, we are going to say inside of this we are going to define a constructor which is a comma b, and here we are going to say a we can say a of 0 should always be smaller than b of 0, right? Fine. Now we are going to say for int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Here we are going to say if, not if. We are going to insert all the possible pair with a 0, right? So we are going to say heap dot, not push, we can say offer new int, right? Here we are going to say nums 1 of I plus nums2 of 0, right? And here I here 0, right? After this we are going to say, once this is done, we are going to say for, not for, we are going to say while loop while. Before that, let's define a result here, right? Which we are going to return. So that going to be list, and here it's going to be integer result is going to be new array list, right? Array list. Fine. And here what we are going to do, we are going to say while our priority queue, not heap, we have given a variable name heap dot is empty until and unless that is not empty and our k is not equal to 0, right? So we are going to say fine, you have to keep moving, right? So here what we are going to do, we are going to say take out the minimum element from heap, so which is going to be nothing but we could say integer array data is going to be nothing but this our heap dot code, right? Is equal to heap dot code. It is also going to remove it, right? So now we are going to say int I is going to be nothing but data of 1 and j is going to be nothing but data of 2, right? After that we are going to say result dot uh, add, and here we can say list dot pair of, right? Pair of like this only, pair of, and here we can say new, not new, we could write the value as well, right? So nums 1 of I and nums 2 of j, right? After that we are going to say fine, we are going to say if j plus 1 is less than m. So what we are going to do, we are going to say okay, add this pair also in our queue. So we are going to say heap dot push node, we can say use offer new int, and here we can use nums 1 of I plus nums 2 of j plus 1, and here I here j plus 1, right? After this we can simply return our result, right? So let's see whether it's working fine or not, right? So let's check this particular part. So here we are getting an error as, so we can use like this, and we can decrement it by like this, right? And let's see now. So something is missing over here, right? So list dot pair of, right? That was I was thinking about. So list dot pair of, what could be the case? Okay, so let me see whether it's, we can use a dot of operators. Let's see. Okay. All right, it's still giving an error. So we can say, let's run this. And you guys can see that all the rest is fast, right? So let's try to submit this code. So by this we also gonna submit it with Java programming language, right? So we have successfully, we can say successfully submitted with Java. Now let's move to the last programming language, which is nothing but JavaScript, right? So in the JavaScript, what we are going to do, we are going to say, first of all, let's find out length. No, int here does not work. We have to use length. N is equal to nums1 dot length, and m is going to be nums2 dot length, nums2 dot length, right? After that, what we are done, we are going to make a practical, right? Again, the main problem is nothing but to make a practical. So here we, how we can make a min heap, or we can say min practical. So we are going to say const our heap is going to be nothing but new min. Let's write a min, then priority q, right? After that you have to pass here also a constructor, which is nothing but you can say a comma b, which is going to be nothing but like this, and here you have to say priority, priority, and here you can say x is going to be nothing but x of 0, right? So I hope it makes sense, right? So this is how we are making a priority queue. This may give an error, we will see later, but yeah, mainly I think the logic is like this only. So after that we are going to say for in let I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Here we are going to say insert. So let me do like this. So we can say insert. What you are going to insert? You are going to insert in a heap. So you can say heap dot in queue, right? In queue, and here you can say in queue you are going to insert first of all nums 1 of I plus nums 2 of j, not j 0, and here you are going to say I, and here you are going to say 0, right? I hope it's making a sense, right? After that you have to define result as well, right? So you can say const result, right? Now after that we are going to use a while loop while this heap dot is empty, and we can say cache is greater than 0, right? So we can say always we have to decrement k, and here we are going to say fine, let me use this semicolon as well. So here we are going to say first of all pop out, right? So we can say data, so we can say const sum ij is going to be equal to our this heap dot dq, and here we can say dot element, right? Fine. Now once this is done, we are going to say you have to check, not check, we have to simply put in our result, right? So result dot push, we have to push what? We have to push nums 1 of I, nums 2 of j, right? After that we have to check if our j plus 1 is also less than m. So we are going to push in our heap as well. Heap dot in queue, you have to include what? Nums of I plus nums of j plus 1, nums of j plus 1, right? So nums of j plus 1 is going to be like this. Then we are going to say I, then we are going to say j plus 1, right? So when this is also done, we are going to say fine, come out from this loop and return your result, right? So let's see whether it's working fine or no, right? So we got an error except priority queue. So basically issue is guys here only, right? So we can say priority new min heap priority queue a comma b. So we are doing something wrong here, guys. So basically just how we could do, give me a second. We're using this operators and then we are doing like this, right? So we can say this is working fine. Let's figure out this one, right? So this thing in queue accept a numeric priority queue over a constructor callback return number. So everything is working fine here. DQ element is also fine. In queue it's need to be use a priority, right? So we have to give a priority. So priority spelling is I guess it's wrong. Priority, it's fine, right? X is this, X is this. Just let me go to. So what is left, right? Just Google is left, right? So we could do Google's, but before that, let's see. Something is missing over here, right? So just give me a second. Let me see. Priority X. So everything is working fine, right? Okay, so let's do Google now. I don't think I have an idea why it's getting failed. So it says there callback return numbers. So in queue expects a numeric properties or construct that callback return. So guys, here we are inserting. Okay, so here we are inserting a nums and we are inserting an array, right? After that we are inserting an array. It's doing up on a priority with we can say x of 0, right? So it's giving a priority on x of 0. So mainly issue is I guess here only, guys. I think so because we have used a constructor, right? So we can try to decrease this. I have checked on the other laptop as well, but I think issue will be here only, right? Let's try to run this one. If it is work now, then definitely I would say this was a very silly mistake with happened. So really sorry for this, guys. I was not aware about this. So let's try to submit this code as well, right? So if you, I know guys, it was really hard for you to also understand this particular thing because it's a new concept and the JavaScript programming language is new to me. So guys, we have successfully implemented in Python, C++, JavaScript and Java as well. So if you have any kind of doubt in the implementation, you can write in the comment section. And if you have any doubt in the understanding part also, you can write in the comment section. If you have any doubt in logic part as well, then also you can write in the comment section because I'm always there to help you, right? And if you learn something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video.